Hello, welcome to Barbecue Elevated. Today we're going to make a whole chicken. I'm going to do this one on the PitBoss pellet smoker. Show you guys what I do for that. I normally do these on the Franklin, but I only have one chicken here, and just want to just do it on the pellet smoker. Just kind of see how it turns out and see what it tastes like. I'm going to try my best to get the chicken so that the skin is nice and crisp. What I'm going to do that is I'm going to start it off just at a low temp, probably around like 200 degrees or so, and just keep it in there for an hour or so at that lower temp. I didn't do a dry brine on this, so the skin hasn't even dried out. I just pulled it out of the bag. Just wanted to go ahead and give it a try. So we'll start with a low temp to try and dry it out as much as I can. Also get some smoke flavor into it. And then towards the end, once it starts to get close to about 150 to 155, I'll increase the temp in it to about 375 and keep it in there for about a half hour at 375, and that's going to make it so that the skin's going to get crispy. At least it should. That's what we're going to be doing today. So just got some canola oil that I'm going to just hit it real quick with for a binder, and then some Mother Cluckin' oink rub from Big Daddy Hills. Going to use that on this. My kids like this rub a lot. I think it tastes pretty good also. But the biggest thing is the cooking oil. Normally I don't use cooking oil for smoking because oil attracts the negative, more bitter flavors of smoke typically. But in this case, it's not going to be in there for very long with the smoke. So I'm okay using this. Only going to be in there for like an hour or two, maybe 2.5 hours before it's done. So we'll go ahead and use this for that. What I like to do is just kind of hit it real quick, and then get the Mother Cluckin' oink rub out. Take this and just kind of go all over it. Of course, this is the back side, but that's okay. Once this part's done, then I'll go ahead and just flip it over, do the other side, get it all the way around. So real quick, I just want to show you guys the way that I have it set up in here. So here's the chicken. Got it set up. I'll zoom out a little bit so you can kind of see the orientation. So what I did is, because it seems like this side over here is the hotter side, this is the cooler side. With a whole chicken, you want to get the dark meat warmer. The dark meat needs to get up to about 180 to 185 for it to become tender and juicy and moisty, and tender and juicy and moist. The breast side, of course, doesn't need to get that hot. In fact, you don't want it to get that hot. You want to get it to 160, 165. Ideally 165 for this to be done, but you don't want to dry it out. So this needs to get up to a hotter temp than this does. With this being the hotter side, I figured I'd put the dark meat on this side, see if we can get this side done before we get this side done. Also, I put the cavity opened up, little fire pots right underneath here, so I'm kind of hoping like maybe some of the smoke can sneak up into the cavity before it comes up and out the chimney stack over here. That's just kind of my thinking. Maybe I'm overthinking it, I don't know, but anyways, got the meat probe in here in the breast. Just want to make sure that we get that done to the right temperature. Always use a meat probe for me. I always do with poultry. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to just kind of watch this thing as it comes along, see how it goes. Of course, we didn't spatchcock it or anything like that, just doing a hole, and it seems like it always kind of works just fine doing it this way. Anyways, we'll check in on it soon, but going to let it cook now for a little bit. And I got the smoker set for 200 degrees on the PitBoss. So I'll keep it at a nice low temp to start off, help dry that skin out. So I just bumped the temperature up to 230. This should try and get this thing going a little bit quicker. It's only been in here for about an hour and a half. You can see the skin's starting to dry out down in there, dry out over there. So one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to spritz this thing because I do not want to make the skin moist. Making the skin moist is going to make it so it doesn't get crisp. So we really want to just make the skin as crispy as possible. The breast is like falling down a little bit, so it's starting to cook, which is good. It's up to about 75 degrees right now, so we're coming along. But yeah, it's definitely going a little bit slowly, but that's to be expected with the process we're going. But getting a nice color on it. I'm really liking the way this thing's looking so far. We'll be back later to check on it a little bit more. Here it is. It's getting dark now. It's actually pretty late. It's been in here for almost 5 hours now, just cooking on this low temp. It's up to 150, so now I'm going to go ahead and crank the temperature up to that 375 on this thing. I found 375 seems to be the right spot for crispy skin, but you can see here the skin is just drying out really well, but the chicken itself is staying nice and moist inside of there. Exactly what we want. So just crank up this temperature, finish it off for the next 15 degrees of internal temp of the chicken, and then once it's done, we'll just go ahead and pull it off and let it rest. Here it is. The chicken's all done. The skin looks nice and crispy. Feels really good, feels soft. It actually smells really good, which is the biggest thing for me that I'm noticing is the smell of it. It smells fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and start slicing this thing up. It's been resting for a while, and come back and do a taste test and tell you what we think and how it compares to our previous experiences with cooking on the Franklin. We got the chicken all ready to go. I've already shown you after it was done. We cut a piece off here. One of my kids already stole a leg because he just couldn't wait. He's able just to pull right off. Me and Simon here, we're going to do our little taste test. Check the skin, but also check the flavor. There you go, Simon. So we've already cut our piece off.
Mmm, delicious.
Everything tastes pretty good. You can definitely taste the smoke flavor in the skin. And on the outside, and the skin is crispy, which is great. What we were going for was the crispy skin, so we got that also. Tastes really good. It's tender. It's not overcooked. Came out really well, so super impressed with this. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to just share.
You can really taste the skin.
Share in the comments below. I'm happy to.
Dad, I have something to say to you. Thank you!
Please share in the comments below if you have any questions or if you want me to do any other videos or any other things you think I should try next time. I'm happy to listen to what you guys have to say.